Well, thank you so much for taking this time and coming on the call. I'm so excited. I've seen your before after pictures, and you have been part of the Skin Games and you won.
Yes,
That's so amazing. Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Do you want to share a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yes, my name is Samantha Tisnoi, and I have been an esthetician for 10 years. And my location is in Colleyville, Texas. And I do all skincare. I do lasers as well, but I really specialize in pigmentation and age management.
Oh, wonderful.
My passions.
That sounds great. And it reflects in all of the things that you do and what you have shared so far. I wanted to little bit dig deeper into your practice. How long have you been doing anti-aging? And first of all, how did you even get interested in the beauty industry?
I've always been interested. I mean, from a little girl, I used to get the dolls with the long hair that I could cut and put makeup on and just make them pretty.
Yeah.
And I just always had a passion for skincare. I actually was a dental assistant, a registered dental assistant for 10 years. And I enjoyed that because I could help people and make a difference. But I kind of plateaued and I wanted to own my own business. So that's whenever I decided to take that passion for skincare and go to school so that I could own my own business. And I worked for a doctor's office for a very short amount of time and realized I'm just going to go out and start my own business. So that's what I did. I just went out and started my own business, and it was doing very well. And then I had 2 little kids and kind of had to pull my business back. And now I'm out building back up again. So,
well, kudos for you, because it does take a lot of efforts in getting the business up and running, as well as your full-time mom as well. So it's a lot to work this out, and I'm really excited that you are making it and working it out. Your passion is what it reflects. Eventually, I'm sure the clients can tell, and they can see, and you are growing because of that.
right. And I have just kind of a different mindset on how I practice. I'm very holistic, and I believe that with the proper sleep, hydration, and foods, that alone can do so much for reversing any aging that we have going on, slow down the process. But then whenever we take into consideration the different modalities and the different products that we have, and you merge those together, you can get excellent results without having to go to the more drastic measures of having the injectables and having the surgeries and all of those type of procedures. So I'm very holistic in my approach for how I practice. So microcurrent works really well with my mindset because we're using our own body's abilities to stimulate our collagen, our fibroblast, which produces the collagen, the elastin, and reversing the effects of the aging, slowing down the effects of the aging. You can't stop it. It's inevitable. And no one wants to, because we all know what that means. But to have the capabilities to slow down and minimize what we do have going on, I think is a wonderful thing. So that's how I practice. That's my mindset.
Absolutely. And I think that's why we connect so well, because even at 7E, we have a very strong belief that skin is eventually reflecting your inner health and well-being. So you definitely want to take care of that. You want to have your sleep. You want to have your energy high up. And then obviously you want to take care of the externals as well. And that's why microcurrent works so well in reconnecting and re-energizing the skin cells and muscle tissues. And obviously we can see that you have helped your clients in transforming and providing them skin health. And there's a before after picture that I wanted to share here. And it's amazing the result that you received over here. Can you highlight a little bit more about what regime you were practicing? How did you get this transformation, and what are the protocols that you followed to get this amazing result?
Sure. First of all, as you know, this is my model for the age management category in the Skin Games. And whenever I decided to be a part of the Skin Games, I did not want to play it safe. I was very excited because there's no limits. You create your protocols, you use your knowledge, and just see what results you can get. And to me, that was very exciting, because whenever you practice on a daily basis, you kind of refrain a little bit and pull back, because people do not want to be your guinea pigs. So to be able to just, no barriers. I mean, except you have to practice within your license, which is a given. But as far as everything else, I could do all the things that I thought would work, or I thought, cause and effect. I would like to try this and just apply it all. And it shows with my model, Beverly. She, lifelong smoker, lots of coffee, lots of sodas, never had any professional skincare, no treatments, nothing. And spent a ton of time in the sun her whole life. And it reflected in her skin. She was only 59 years old. Wow. And I actually found her eating dinner in Payway, and I approached her, which is a little awkward. I felt like I could help her. And so she was along the journey with me, and it was very intense, I had only 8 weeks, so I needed every moment possible. So my protocol that I came up with was doing the MyoLift Microcurrent 3 times a week, and doing LED light therapy. I used a Saluma panel. I did that 3 times a week. Those were my staples. That never changed. Every week, 3 times a week, we stayed on that protocol. I also sent her home with a handheld light stem. So the nights that we did not do in-office treatment, light therapy, she would do that at home. I also sent her home with a little handheld Onma, which is a myofascia lift that she would do, breaking up that fascia. And that just helps to relax the muscles. So it made my job a little bit easier whenever I would do the microcurrent. I didn't have to warm up the muscles as much in the tissue. So I got my effects a little bit quicker. And then, of course, I used PCA, and we did in-office peels every 2 weeks. In between the peels, we would do, depending on what her skin read at every appointment, I might do hydrating, I might do some enzymes. I have all of my protocols laid out on my YouTube, my Elite Skin and Lash YouTube channel. Yes. If anyone wanted to literally watch every protocol, they could. And then she had quite a bit of home care. Home care is so important to achieving the results that you're looking for, because she can only come to me certain times throughout the week. And a normal client, they can't even come that much. So the home care is important because you're using a good clinical line, and it is doing on a level of what I do in the office, but much more scaled down. The different products that they're using, it's over time, it's more beneficial, and it's working to reverse the aging, to soften the skin, to remove pigment, pull the lines, everything that I'm working hard in the office. Those home care treatments are working every day. And she sees herself morning, and night to do those home care. So she's very compliant. And
Very cool.
except she did not quit smoking. I really tried to get her to quit smoking throughout this process, because I would take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
Yeah.
So that was very difficult.
That's a tough one.
Yes, it was very difficult. But the fact that I achieved these results with her continuing to smoke was incredible. I mean, incredible. So
yes. We can see that. And so just to summarize, we are talking about 3 times a week for 8 weeks.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So those are the 24 sessions that got you from this skin to this skin, but this gives an inspiration that it's doable, that you don't necessarily need to go through a facial surgery to get these results. You can do it through non-invasive procedures, and microcurrent with MyoLift has been really great and helpful, which we've seen over the time, because it does that pinch and hold technique, and it is delivering the microcurrent through the belly of the muscles, and it's also re-energizing the skin cells. So it's amazing.
It is. It is. I mean, every time I would see her, I was just like, wow. It was even amazing for me. Like I said, I knew I could achieve these results. I just needed the opportunity.
Yeah.
And the Skin Games was the perfect opportunity for me to apply all my knowledge and my products and my modalities. And so it was just the perfect storm. So I will say, as far as the microcurrent, I was very impressed with the MyoLift for what it could do, for it being just a little, small handheld device. I wasn't sure what kind of results I could pull, but I was impressed with obviously what I got. I would like to upgrade to one of the stronger machines, because I feel like I might not have had to have worked as hard if I had a little bit more power.
Yes.
So for moving forward and for my future case studies or clients that come in and want these type of results, I think it will be more beneficial for them and me to have a machine that has a little bit more power, so that they are not required, maybe they can come in twice a week, because the 3 times is really hard on some people. But I feel like with the MyoLift and the amount of power I had, it was necessary. This is what we needed for these results. So I feel like if you have a little more power, then you can do 2 times a week and still get these great results, or maybe better.
Absolutely. And I think that's why we introduced MyoLift 600, which will be able to
saw that.
And then we also have MyoLift MD that goes up to 800 microamps. And what we have seen typically is 1 time a week in a case like this would be sufficient.
Right. And of course, that's the goal for most practitioners, but everyone has to start somewhere. So if you do have to start with the lesser machines, you can see clearly that they are still effective. I think what's most important is to know what you're doing. If you just sit there and don't know what you're doing, you're just applying the probes on the skin, hoping that you're going to get an outcome, I don't think that is very realistic. You need to understand the muscles of the face. You need to understand the technology that you're working with, why it works, how it works, what makes it effective. So I think having the education, proper education, and of course the proper modality, the sky's the limit. You can make your clients very happy.
Absolutely. You have said that so well, and it couldn't have been said better. And you, in fact, showed it in your results. I'm curious, what was the reaction of your client?
She was floored. I mean, whenever we very first sat down, she's like, if I could get 10 years off my face, that would be optimal. Well, there you go.
Yes.
She was thrilled. I mean, she sent me a picture afterwards. She had darkened her hair, and she just had a glowing, beaming smile on her face. She was just a different person, literally a different person. I mean, this looks like a mother and a daughter.
Yes.
It absolutely does.
Yes.
So I think it took 20 years off of her. We surpassed the 10.
You're right. You're right. And look at the neck. I mean, it's
Yes.
amazing what the difference in the neck itself
Yes.
worked, and it looks like a younger neck. And I'm curious if you can just a little bit highlight on what were your movements and as well as the modality that you used. If you were using MyoLift, did you use erase? Did you use educate on the neck to get this?
I would use both, but for the neck, I focused a little bit more on the educate, and I went up to 400, and because I wanted as much power as I could get, and I spent quite a bit of time, and that's why I'm saying I feel like for cases that are this difficult,
Yes.
more power would be much more beneficial and easier for the practitioner, because I am not going to lie, this was a lot of work for me. It was very time intensive. I spent hours with her, but I needed these results, and I had 8 weeks. So I knew that I did not have any time to waste. So I put into what these results achieved. You know, it was very hard work and a lot of diligence, but I just worked on, you know, from starting at her collarbone up to the chin. Yeah. And I would do actually multiple strokes. I didn't necessarily time anything, and I also kind of worked on what her face needed. So the left side had more damage. So I would work longer on the left side. I would always work the entire face, starting from the neck bone, the clavicle, working up to the chin. Yes. And then I would just follow the muscles. And that's where knowing the muscles of the face and the neck come into play. And it's so important, because you know how the guide of those muscles. Otherwise, you're just not doing it right. And I would do each hold for a minimum of 5 seconds. And so it was never a quick, I mean, I would spend at least an hour every session doing the face. Wow. So a lot of time. That's why I just keep reiterating, this is a great, MyoLift is fantastic, but for these heavier cases, you need more power.
Yes.
But if you have this kind of time, then it's obviously achievable. You do have to work for it. It does not come easy.
Exactly. No, your hard work reflects, absolutely. And, you know, I hear you. You definitely need more power. And obviously there are options now. It's just that if somebody had that MyoLift Mini, and they do have clients who are in this situation as heavy and wrinkled, and they are working towards anti-aging. This has been such an inspiration. When we shared this on our social media, it was just blasted by so many questions and so many interests that they wanted to.
Well, of course. Yes. Yes. For my clients.
Yes.
Actually, I've already done 4 other I don't want to call them case studies anymore, because now they're my clients.
Yeah.
Series. I've done 4 other series of this exact protocol, and I've yielded excellent results. So it's not just a fluke.
Right.
The protocols that I've came up with work, and they have worked time and time again now. So it's effective, and that's very exciting, and especially as a practitioner, to know that a little bit of hard work, a lot of hard work, but having these pictures, it just sells itself. Yeah. Because I'm like, you can achieve this. This is what has to be done. So I now do treatment plans, and the potential clients will come in, and I will look at their skin. I'll analyze their skin, and then I send them home, and I put together a protocol, and it's a treatment plan, and it has everything laid out. This is what you need to achieve this. So it's not let's keep coming back time by time and see how it goes. I mean, this is what you need.
You are their skin doctor.
And it's effective.
Yes.
So if people out there, practitioners out there want to do something like this, I say do case studies, find someone that you can do something like this on, trade services, and then you have your own pictures. And then do treatment plans and just give the treatment plan, and people will do it because they want these results. They just have to, people are visual. So they want to see that you can do this.
True. Exactly. So, well, amazing work. And are you participating in the next year?
I am still undecided.
But let's get you the more powerful device, and then hopefully you won't have to work so much, and it will be a little more easier to get.
Yeah, it was. It was. And if I do participate again, I don't know if I will participate in 2 categories, because that was a lot. Mm-hmm. So in the other category that I was competing in, that case study was just as difficult, but with pigmentation instead of the age management. So it was a lot, and it's just all kind of passed, and I'm just having a second to breathe. So I don't know if I can jump right back into that or not, but if not this year, I will next.
Take care. Yes, you should take your time. Absolutely. But it was such a pleasure talking to you, knowing you, and that what you have received. I think you have been a really big influencer, as well as a inspirer, a person who have inspired so many people. And
I love to hear that, because that is what I am all about. Helping other people, inspiring other people. And, I'm not that type of person that wants to keep everything to myself, and I don't want to tell you what I've done because you might achieve this. And no, I'm like, hey, this is what I've done. Go do it. Build practice. So I love when practitioners are helping other practitioners, because there are enough people out here for us to all stay busy. So
yeah. And it's so important, because as a practitioner, sometimes in the room we get so isolated and we are struggling and all of that. So I think that's why even at 7E we've tried to build a community, we've tried to build the platform so that we can share with each other, and then we can support each other in many different ways. And
I think it's amazing.
Thank you so much for being part of it.